All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us. And today is stage 6, day 7, but stage 6, preparing for resolution. This is a very, very charged and very energized stage. This is the stage that we're really adding momentum. We're like a coiled spring and we've been pushed down and we're building up and we're building up and we're building up and we're adding that momentum so that we can just flow, so that we can spread into that breakthrough rather than pushing or striving or struggling. This is where a lot of our beliefs about how life really works get challenged, because a lot of us, definitely myself included, have this idea that if we're not struggling, if we're not striving, if we're not blood, sweat, and tears martyring ourselves, well, then somehow we're not going to get the changes that we need. We're not going to be as successful. We're not going to feel fulfilled because we did not give it all and die at the altar of effort and success. So stage 6 really is going to poke holes in a lot of those beliefs. Before this, we've been talking about, the fractured parts of ourselves, the parts of ourselves that we've rejected. And then yesterday and the day before, we really talked about how the biggest illusion that causes our pain in life is this illusion of separation, this illusion of an individual me against an environment of a not me, an us versus a them, a fractured, individualized, part made self rather than a whole and complete made self. So once we start to break through that illusion of separateness, we start to recognize that everything in life is interconnected. All of our experiences are interconnected. So as we start to move into stage 6 is really where synchronicity starts to become a real thing in our life. It becomes something that after a while we almost expect and we're looking for, because life and what we consider to be ourselves, it's not separate. It's all interwoven. And when we have a need, whenever we have a desire, when there's something that the change needs to happen through, it really becomes about a relationship, about a give and a take, a back and forth between what we call a me and what we call a not me, or an outside world. So, hey, Connie, thanks for joining us. So as we're moving into stage 6, we start to recognize that this illusion that we've had of separateness really is completely false and fake, and it will show up in all sorts of weird and wacky ways. If it doesn't show up in weird, wacky ways, if it shows up in predictable ways, it's really not going to shake up our belief about this perception that we have about separateness. So the more weird, the more wacky, the more outside of our control that this interconnected aspect of being really starts to show up, the more it's like, oh, well, yeah, of course, it's not just me. It really is a we. It really is. Life is a relationship rather than just this series of individual events made up of these, individual players or characters. Really, it's one play. It's one interaction between the actors and the audience, and that in between, the space in between us, is more of the real reality as opposed to that separate, individualized space. So stage 6 is where we're really starting to build up momentum to make this breakthrough, to come to the end of the need to experience ourselves and our lives as separate. So what are we getting ready to resolve? Well, we're getting ready to resolve the illusion. We're getting ready to resolve the story. We're ready to getting ready to resolve the habit, the belief, the behavior, and the state of being that acts in separation, right? All of our thoughts, and we brought this up the other day, all of our thoughts, all of our feelings, all of our perceptions, all of our experiences, they only exist at a particular level of energy, right? You've experienced before in your life where, you've been in the same circumstance as someone else. You have been in the same scenario. You have had the same things. You felt the same things as someone else, but their interpretation of it is totally and completely different than yours. One of the stories that my mom actually used to tell me, and I still carry this on and tell other people, is there was two rooms, and in each one of these rooms was a child. And one of the rooms was completely filled with horse crap and a shovel. And the other room was just completely filled with flowers and, all of this beauty. And you go into the first room that's completely filled with crap. And that child is just sitting there digging away, digging away, digging away, just flinging horse poop all over the place. You move into the second room. In the second room, the child's just in the corner crying. And, like, whoa, big difference here. What's happening here? So go tap the child in the first room on the shoulder, and they're just flinging the horse crap everywhere. And they're like, hey, what's going on here? And that child is like, well, there's a whole bunch of pony poop in here. So if I keep digging, there's got to be a pony up underneath here somewhere. Go into the second room, you ask the child, why are you crying? You're surrounded by all this beauty. And the child's like, well, I'm so scared that if I touch anything, I'm going to break it, or if I'm going to mess up one of these plants. So I can't do anything about this. I just have to sit here and, I feel trapped in all this beauty. It's like, well, totally different amounts of energy that are brought into these situations and into these scenarios that gives the child a totally and completely different experience of that situation. So the illusion is that we are a victim of this separate thing that we call life. We are a victim of this circumstance. We are a victim of this person or this thing. And in stage 6, we really start to own that if we bring in more energy, if we bring ourselves to a higher level of awareness, we can experience the circumstance in a totally and completely different way. So we're moving from a state of being and bringing ourselves into that state of being that is at a much higher energy level, so that our whole experience can change. Okay. So our problems from a higher energy level can be experienced as opportunities. And from an even higher energy level, those opportunities can be experienced as gifts for ourselves, for our development, but gifts that we can share with others. Okay. So in each one of our painful experiences, up underneath all of our wounding, all of the places that were guarded and we don't want to go into, and we're keeping ourselves and trying to protect ourselves from getting wounded again, up underneath that's a lot of energy that's been bound up and stored in those painful experiences, in those wounds, in those defensive guarded areas, in those areas that we're disconnected from and we've shoved things into. So by taking all of that energy and being able to move it, being able to shift it, being able to get it to flow again, we automatically give ourselves access to the energy that we need in order to make a change in how we experience this process that we call life. Okay, so in our ability to make a change, we do not need to gather energy. We don't need to be victims and just wait for ourselves to be filled up by this outside source. Yes, there's constantly energy all around us. Yes, we absolutely want to have access to that, but it's going to be a challenge to have access to that if we're spending our energy compressing and holding and hiding and shifting and avoiding. If all of that habit is still there, then it doesn't matter how much energy we have access to from the quote unquote outside. We're just going to keep replaying that pattern again and again, and we're going to bring ourselves back to stage 1, stage 2, or stage 3 in that stage of suffering. So in order to have access, to have a better relationship with this thing that we call a not me out here, the first thing that we need to do is we need to liberate all of the energy that we are keeping bound up within ourselves. And I promise you, there is enough potential, there is enough energy in all of us to make a substantial and profound breakthrough. And this is really stage 6, where rubber meets the road. We start to really own what's going on. We own what we've been doing. We've already decided in the previous stages that we're no longer going to allow this to continue. So stage 6 is where we're building up the momentum. We're taking all of the courage, we're taking the pride, and we're moving through the pain. We're moving through the wounding. We are no longer interested in moving away from anything, because we know, we have a sense that on the other side of all of this, underneath all of this pony crap, there is a prize there. There's a pony that we are really, really going to enjoy. So stage 6, we are moving and 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 moving, all towards this resolution of no longer needing to perceive ourselves, our lives, or the bits and parts of us as being disconnected. Or we no longer need to experience ourselves as life and life as fractured. We haven't quite got to the place where we can experience it as a full interconnected whole, but we know it's out there. We know that potential is there. We just need the higher energy levels in order to make this breakthrough. So when we really get into stage 6 in our lives, we're going to start to feel a lot more determination, and a lot more resolve, a lot more flexibility, a lot more excitement about something big and something new that's coming down the road. Okay. We may not be able to see it, but we can taste it. We know it's happening. So remember that when we experience something as painful, when we experience a wound, when we experience a circumstance that just, it hurts so bad, and we carry that hurt with us and into the future, that did not happen because we did something wrong. That did not happen because there was something that we were lazy about, or something that we didn't see, or whatever else like that, something that we need to take fault or blame from. The only reason that we experienced that circumstance, no matter how horrific it was, the only reason we are still carrying that wound with us today is simply because we don't have access to enough energy to bring ourselves and to flow into a higher state of being. So remember, in all of this, whenever we're looking at our wounds, we do not need to take fault for any of this. But what we learned in the previous stages is now is the time to take the responsibility, the ability to respond and move towards something greater, move towards something that we actually want, rather than spinning our wheels trying to move away from what we don't want. Stage 6, especially. Now, most of the other stages, but primarily stage 6, this is the border. Okay, this is the cutoff mark. This will not work if our goal is to move away from anything. Our goal now has to be to move towards something greater. Otherwise, our energy is going to go back into that defensiveness and that protectedness and that guardedness. And hey, if that happens, it's not the end of the world, because really what we're doing is we're taking that energy and we're coiling the spring even more and even more. So even though stage 6 may not work right now, if we're still trying to move away from something, even subconsciously, don't worry. Just doing stage 6 will build up the energy so that eventually you will move closer and closer to that place where you can choose to move ahead and to move through and to move towards what you really want. So you don't have to worry about doing stage 6. Nothing bad will happen if there's a part of you that still wants to move away from something. You just won't necessarily get the full effect of stage 6. So, with enough energy, with enough determination, with enough discomfort about the way things have been or the way that things are, this is really where we're starting to direct the fuel, direct the energy for that big shift, that big change that needs to come up, the buildup in order for us to free the energy for the resolution of needing to be a fractured, individualized, bits and pieces self and move towards a whole, interconnected we self. And this is the primary problem that is creating all of the different problems that we see in our society today. Okay, if we as a collective, as we as humanity can experience the interconnectedness that we have with everyone in humanity, if we can experience the connectedness that we have with our different systems, with society, with our families, with our government, if we can experience the real interconnectedness that we are with our environment and with the planet, we're no longer going to continue to act in the unsustainable ways that are causing all of the problems that we're struggling with right now in ourselves, in our society, in our family, in our environment. So when we're doing stage 6 today, in the back of your mind, remember that as you move through stage 6, you are liberating this energy not only within yourself, but because we are all connected, because there is no separation, there is no distinction between the whole. Okay, when you do this inside what you perceive to be your body and yourself, you are liberating that energy for everyone in existence, both past, present, and future. You're liberating that energy so that they can do the same in their own unique way, in their own part and process of this journey. Whether they know it or whether they don't know it is totally beside the point. When you do this, you are doing this for the we, not just for the me. Okay. Some of us, like I said before, it's way easier to see things from that perspective. It's way easier to say, oh yeah, I can totally do this for everyone. But if I could just got to do it for myself, I'm just going to kind of do it in a low energy state. So whichever way that you feel the most resolve, whichever way that you feel the most determination, whichever way that you feel the most courage, okay, use that strategy, use that way, build up the momentum. Okay, do this in whatever way that you need to do this, whether it's for the me or whether it's for the we. Okay, bring everything that you have into stage 6 right here and right now. The more we liberate, the more energy we connect to and get flowing and changing, the bigger and the faster of a breakthrough we as individuals and as a collective are going to experience. So today I am asking you to play all out. Okay, no more playing small, no more settling for just doing things the quote unquote normal way. Okay, how many times in your life have you lowered your energy level? Have you made a smaller self? How many times in your life have you decided or chose comfort over change just to fit into the situation? Okay, just so that you would be accepted, just so that you could accept yourself. Okay, just so that those around you would not look at you as if you were weird or strange or whatever else. How many times in your life have you played small just so you could fit in and things could stay the same? We are done with that. We need more than that at this time in human history. Okay, so now's your opportunity to say, I don't care how uncomfortable it is. I am going to make this breakthrough. I don't care who is uncomfortable because I'm making changes. I don't care anymore about playing small. I don't care anymore about muting myself or keeping myself fractured. Okay, now is the time that we as a collective are going to make a breakthrough, because we don't have time to play little anymore. The problems in our society, in our planet, are getting to the point of no return. And if we do not make this change, if we do not claim our responsibility and our power now, it's going to end up getting much, much worse. Okay, so everybody just kind of find your place, find your space where you can sit down comfortably, sprawl out, lay down, whatever it takes. Okay, move into a place, move into a space that you can fully and completely let yourself go. That may mean that you need to move into a different room. That may mean that you need to clear the space around you. That may mean that you need to apologize ahead of time to the people that are around you. Say, sorry, I'm going to get a little bit loud right now, but this is going to be for your best interest. So if you don't like it, you can move. Some of us need to stand in that power place and say, no, this is right for everyone. This is beneficial for everyone. And anybody that doesn't like it, it's time for you to change. Have already decided I'm making this breakthrough. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to start back at the very beginning. We're just going to identify what is today. Okay, it doesn't matter what was yesterday. It doesn't matter what will be tomorrow. The present moment is the only time and place that we have to make an impact. So right here and right now, breathing in the nose and out the mouth, directly up underneath the hands, palm over palm, right at the very, very top of the sternum, top of the chest, all the way in, all the way out. Okay, what strategy is working for you right now? If you're paying attention to the breath, all the way full inhale, all the way full exhale, where is that place of peace, that place of ease, that place of interconnectedness, that place of home, that place you can just drop into and your body just takes over the motion? Where's that place where you just get carried along in the flow, in the momentum? Okay, is it in the inhale and the exhale? Is it in the expansion or contraction, the movement? Is it in the flow of energy all the way down the front of the body, wrapping between the legs, exhaling up the spine, totally surrendering to that flow of energy in and out, expand and contract, all the way down, all the way up? Which one of those strategies right here and right now can you find the place of peace and ease and connection to be the most intense, the easiest to drop into, the most effortless to find? Now, whichever strategy that is, stay with that strategy. The breath, the movement, the energy. Now move to the solar plexus, right where the bottom of the sternum, that hard bony spot, then turns into that soft area, right at that junction between the soft and the hard. Breathing in the nose, out the mouth, all the way up underneath the hands. What's different about that place or space of peace, ease, surrender, home, connection in this area? All fully and letting go completely. Now move to the belly button, all the way in, all the way out, all the way in, full expansion, all the way out, full release, full relaxation. Feel the energy flowing all the way in, letting it go all the way out. Now move back and forth at your own pace between these three spots, one breath into each one. What's different about these areas? Which area can you find the most peace, the most ease, the most connection, the most home? the most ability to just flow effortlessly with the full respiration, with the full movement, with the full energy flow. Identify which one of these places is the most connected, the most at ease, the most at home. Identify which one is the most challenging. All the way in, all the way out. Switch. All the way in, all the way out. Switch. All the way in, all the way out. Find that area of the most peace, the most ease, the most connection. Find that area of the least ease, the least peace, the least connection, the most discomfort, the most challenging, the most disconnected. All the way in and all the way out. Move to the area that is the most connected, the most at ease, the most at peace. If you're not sure, try one. It doesn't really matter. If you can identify where is the most disconnected spot, you only got a 50-50 shot for the other two. If you can identify which is the most connected spot, you only got a 50-50 shot. So just go ahead and go with it. This is not about right or wrong. This is about moving into this process. This is about curiosity. This is about opening up. This is going to happen. It doesn't matter if it happens today or in 10 years. This is going to happen. And I'm going to move in that direction even if I don't do it right. So find that place of connectedness. Find that place of peace, of ease. Find that most connected spot all the way in, all the way out. All the way in, all the way out. Repeat after me. Sometimes it seems I'm so helpless. Go. Now move to the most disconnected spot. Breathe all the way in and let it go all the way out. Move back to the most connected spot, all the way in, all the way out, dropping in, letting go, melting all the way in, all the way out, letting go, letting go, letting go, all the way in, all the way out. Repeat after me. Sometimes it seems like nothing works. Go. Now move to the most challenging spot. Feel it all the way in. Be with it, regardless of what it is. All the way out, letting go, letting go, letting go, letting go. Back to the most connected spot. All the way in and all the way out. All the way in and all the way out. All the way in and all the way out. Now take one hand and keep it over your most connected spot. Take the other hand and move it to the most disconnected spot. Breathe underneath the hand of the most connected spot and then immediately switch. Breathe underneath the hand of the least connected spot. Back and forth. One breath underneath each one of the individual hands, filling up those two areas, feeling the polarity, feeling the contrast. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, feeling the body building up the rhythm, okay? Feeling the body feeding both of those two areas. Although they feel different, own the fact that they feel different, even if it's slight. Keep breathing back and forth. One full inhale, one full exhale. Repeat after me. I have many different parts. Go. I have many different rhythms. Go. Some of these parts I like. Go. Some of these parts I really, really feel suck. Go. But all these parts are me. Ha 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 ha. All the way in, all the way out. Breathe simultaneously into both spots, filling them both up, all the way in and all the way out. Feel them together, all the way in, all the way out, as if they're sharing all of the resources, all the way in, all the way out, all the way in, all the way out. Pay attention to the hands that's right over the most disconnected area, the most stuck area, the most challenging area. Breathing into both, but paying attention to that challenging area, and say out loud to that area, speak up now, go. If you had a nickname whenever you were a child that someone you love used to call you, use that nickname now. Say speak up and then fill in the blank with the nickname. So mine was Tadpole. Speak up, Tadpole. Speak up. I'm listening. All the way in, all the way out, all the way in, all the way out. Now take both hands and put them over the most stuck, the most disconnected area. Palm over palm, breathing all the way in the nose, out the mouth, feeling this area, feeling the stuckness, recognizing that this is your inner child and it's calling out because it didn't receive something. This is the wounding. This is the part of you that needs more TLC. It's not bad. It's just throwing a temper tantrum because it hasn't been able to get what it needs. All the way in, all the way out. Increase that discomfort, increase that stuckness, increase that disconnected sensation. Twist it to the left, twist it to the right, move it up, move it down, push, pull, squeeze around it. What do you got to do to increase the sensation of stuckness? Increase it, increase it, increase it. Get more and more stuck. Make the sound of the stuckness. Go. Oh, so stuck. Repeat after me. I am so stuck. Go. I'm the most stuck person in the world. Go. No one has ever been as stuck as I am. Go. Stuck, 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 stuck. Relax. Open up. Feel that area. Breathe into that area. In the nose, out the mouth. All the way in and all the way out. Keep one hand over that spot. Breathe in the nose and out the nose now. In the nose, out the nose. In the nose, out the nose. With the other hand, you're going to reach up and plug one nostril. In the nostril, out the nostril. Switch nostrils. In the second nostril, out the second nostril. In the first nostril, out the first nostril. In the second nostril, out the second nostril. Back and forth. Back and forth, building up, building up, building up, building up, breathing right up underneath the hand, moving that area, breathing into that area, getting the energy to flow into that area. This is not going to continue anymore. We are going to make a breakthrough. In the nose, out the nose, in the nose, out the nose. Keep going, build it up, build it up, build it up, build it up. And then on the count of 3, repeat after me with intensity. Enough of this. 1, 2, 3, go. Enough of this. This will not continue. Go. In the nose, out the nose. In the nose, out the nose. Back to breathing. Back. In the nose, out the nose. In the nose, out the nose. On the count of 3, I deserve more than this. 1, 2, 3. I deserve more than this. Go. I take back my power. Go. I take back my authenticity. Go. I take back my peace. Go. I take back my joy. Go. I take back my awareness. Go. I take back my wholeness. Go. I take back my ability to heal. Go. Last time. In the nose, out the nose. In the nose, out the nose. Back and forth between the nostrils. Breathe, 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 breathe. And on the count of 3, I deserve more than this. Go. 1, 2, 3. Go. I am more than this. Go. I am ready to be more than this. Go. We are more than this. Go. We deserve more than this. Go. We are ready to be more than this. Go. Now, put the hands right out in front of you, palms facing away. Bend the knees with the hands breathing in the mouth and out the mouth. With the hands, find some sort of circular motion. Let the hands and the body guide you. Keep the spine still and straight, just moving the shoulders in the shoulder joint. Find a movement. Find a circular movement. Each hand either moving together or moving as individuals. Breathing in the mouth and out the mouth, circling around, moving the hands in a circular motion. Now get the feet, pick the feet up off the floor, whether you're sitting or whether you're laying down, the knees are bent, and find a circular motion with the feet so that the hips in the hip sockets are doing tiny little motions, but that motion is transferred down the leg, and the feet and the hands are now getting synchronized. In the mouth, out the mouth. In the mouth, out the mouth. Fully experiencing the breath as if you're breathing in all of life. If you're breathing in the whole universe and allowing the whole universe to just be with the exhale. Breathing all the way in and all the way out, synchronizing the breath and the movement of the hands and the feet. Breathing all the way in and all the way out, all the way in, all the way out, preparing to merge and to move past this illusion of separate individual parts and pieces, now feeling the body all moving together as a synchronized whole, feeling life moving together as a synchronized whole, all the way in, all the way out, all the way in, all the way out. Repeat after me. I embrace all parts of myself. 1, 2, 3, go. I embrace all aspects of myself. Go. I embrace all of my experiences. Go. I embrace all of life. Go. I embrace all of humanity. Go. I embrace all of existence. Go. Now, moving into stage 6, feeling that area over our body that was stuck before, feeling that area that was disconnected. Okay, touch that area, palm over palm, but now move your hands slightly away from that area outside the body. How far away from the body can you go until you start to lose the sensation or that connection to that spot that was previously stuck? It may be 1 inch. It may be 3 inches. It may be as far as your arms will go. Okay. Keep the palm over palm. Keep your palms of your hands facing towards your body. Breathing in the nose and out the nose with the feet on the ground. Keeping the spine and the body completely straight. The elbows are out to the side. Now we're circling around that area of disconnectedness. We're circling around in a circular motion. Okay. The smaller and the tighter the circle, the more intense this experience is going to be. The larger that circle is, the more dissipated the energy is going to be. So if that area was really hard for you to connect with, it's okay to make a bigger circle. If you are ready to plow through anything, no matter how painful or uncomfortable, make that circle a very small, tight circle, breathing in the nose, out the nose, in the nose, out the nose, circling around in the space above the body, circling around. As we're circling around, breathing in the nose, out the nose, preparing for resolution, ready to make this breakthrough, ready to experience all the synchronicities of life, ready to experience life happening for us instead of to us, circling around, moving incrementally closer and closer to the body, like you're spiraling down towards that area of disconnectedness, closer and closer and closer and closer, in the nose, out the nose, in the nose, out the nose, closer and closer, and touching the body and getting the body to move, spinning, moving the skin right over that area, keeping the spine straight. It's the arms and hands and shoulders are the only thing that's moving. Everything else is tense. Everything else is staying still. You're channeling that energy directly into that spot. And repeat after me. I'm ready. 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 Keep going. Keep going. I'm ready. 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 And relax. Let go. Put your hands onto your thighs. Keep your body very, very still. Pushing the hands into the thighs, allowing that energy to build up in that body. It's building up for the breakthrough. We need that energy for the breakthrough. Don't let any of it escape. Let it fill you. Fill up, fill up. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. And when you're ready, just relax. Breathing in and breathing out. Allowing that charge to just be. Allowing that buzz, allowing the tingling, the numbness, whatever you experienced, to just be what it is. Allowing the space around you to just be what it is, with curiosity. with pride, with courage, with momentum, ready to see the real truth, ready to peer behind the curtain. And when you're ready, go ahead and sit up. Come back into your body first. Probably should have said that. Move your shoulders around, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. What is different about the space around you right now than when we first started? What's different about the space inside your body? What's different about your thinking? Your thought space? What's different about your emotional space? When you're ready, come back to the computer. If you can type in or raise your hand and we'll unmute you, and just give us a quick comment, verbally or otherwise, about what you experienced. And Kathy, I think you can go ahead and talk.
When we started stage 6 and I put my hand over the spot, it was actually painful, whereas before it wasn't. I didn't notice any kind of, it was like physically painful. Then whenever I moved my hands further and further away, that kind of lessened a lot. But then whenever I did the spiraling and came back in, I didn't notice that sensation. It was like barely there, but the space around me was full of something.
Yes.
So that was pretty cool. I had, and then of course I'm a determined person anyway, but it's like there's more determination.
Lots of potential.
More determination to do, to be all that I am, not just for me, but for everyone, to not see myself as only an individual, but as part. I'm Christian, so I to really see myself glowing as that little cell in the body of Christ, so that the whole body can start glowing.
Sounds like that you were totally ready for stage 6. That energy was already there.
It was
that interconnection.
Popped out.
Yep. And when it does, we don't need to experience the pain anymore. We can experience the hunger of being ready to move forward, rather than the pain that is motivating us to make that change. So thank you very much for sharing. Anybody else have any?
I was surprised that, like, when we did stage 6, am I unmuted?
Yep, you're good. I can hear you.
I was like, I don't know if anyone can hear me. I was muted.
Yes.
I was surprised that when we did stage 6, like, my circles were naturally already really small before you even said anything about that, and that hadn't really ever been the case before.
Yes.
So that was cool.
Well, I'm sure the last couple of days have been inspiration enough to be able to say, I'll make whatever kind of breakthrough I need to get past this.
Yeah, definitely. I'm still feeling like super raw, but and it's weird, there wasn't as much of like a charge as I'm used to feeling, but I still feel like there was a good result.
Well, you are the charge, Connie.
I don't feel very charged today.
Yeah, but you're not very charged is like somebody else's electrocuted.
That's true.
Okay, I'll take that. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yeah, that was very interesting on over there. I had a shift over there that I was actually shifted to no longer something else binding me or holding me pushed down. but me holding me down. And so I felt as I did more and more and built up the energy, I felt much more with me pushing myself out of the way and getting farther and farther from my body to be more free, to be more open. And then when I felt the energy, it was just like a large globe that I could, like I was holding the exercise ball or whatever else like that. It was just all out there in front of me and all just boundless. So,
Yeah.
but it was definitely a defined energy because I, closing my hands, I felt resistance. It was wanting me to stay with my hands open.
Stay open. Absolutely. That is amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. And this is the part that a lot of us run from, is being the ones that are in our own way. We don't want to admit that about ourselves. But when we get that experience, well, and then the experience is really not that bad, because it's like, oh, okay, if I'm the one that's in my way, ooh, I can control me. I can make a shift in me. I don't necessarily need to be the victim anymore. So it requires a little bit of humility in the beginning, but when the energy is there, it's actually a very freeing, very liberating, very energizing experience. So thank you so much for sharing. Anybody else?
That, so this time I just felt kind of neutral after, which I don't know, is different just because there's not much, which was confusing.
And is this, is it possible that you've been putting so much energy and effort into moving past stage 6 into, feeling that interconnectedness and that whole, that you've already accomplished a lot in this area? And so you don't necessarily need the really high energy charge to make this breakthrough. Is it possible that you are already in the middle or maybe towards the other side of the breakthrough?
It is possible, I guess.
Good.
Yeah.
Just play around with that possibility and that potential.
Thank you, Todd.
Was there, Barbara, before you jump off, was there any other stage, and in the build up to stage 6, when we were going through the other ones, was there any other one that felt really, really intense and charged? Or not particularly?
Not particularly, but before the session, I was, all that you were saying about going back to kind of this pattern, I could see it, right? Like, okay, I'm going there, and I'm so aware now that it's like, please no. But but maybe what you just said is like, maybe if I just believe in myself.
Yes.
Which I think, and even, I feel right now like maybe if I just believe in myself, or,
I totally
not for once,
agree.
for more than.
Yeah, just try it. Yeah, just try it for a while and see what happens. You can always go back to not believing in yourself.
Yes, exactly. So maybe if I explore that possibility, as you just said,
yes,
maybe that could.
Yeah. So Donnie Epstein on Facebook has a group called the 12 Stages in 12 Days. We put that invitation out on last Sunday. So if you go to Organic Living Chiropractic's Facebook page, you'll be able to find that invitation and then sign up for that. If you have not signed up for that already, Barbara, I would recommend that you do that. He's on stage 8 right now. Yes. And that's actually the stage that, from what you just described, that would be the stage that I would recommend you playing around with.
Okay, thank you. Actually, I did join, and yesterday, which in the morning I felt really the flow after we finished.
Yes.
I saw a piece of his stage 8, and I really felt like, oh, I see. I really felt that piece. So maybe that's it. Make me feel a little bit better, because this morning I was like, really?
Yeah.
But maybe I just believe in myself, and that's okay.
That's a good start. And then play around with stage 8, because like I said, you just may not have needed that to release that much energy in stage 6. That might not
Okay.
just not be where you are right now. And there's nothing wrong with that. Awesome.
Okay, thank you, Tad. That
And
helps a lot.
good. And there's also nothing wrong with being in the stages below stage 6. A lot of times we kind of will want to see this as a hierarchy. We want to see that, we'll want to see that stage 4 is better than stage 2, or stage 8 is better than stage 1. This is not a hierarchy. See this much more as an integrated circle, as a season, or as a flow. And as we go through these stages in different ways and different parts of us throughout life, we are going to flow into that series of events, that series, that process of change in a totally different way in our life, in a totally different dimension. So you could be in stage 3 in your social life, and you could be in stage 11 in your family life, right? So we are multidimensional. We are very, very multifaceted. This is not a complete black and white process. This is an ebb and a flow, and a multi-dimensional ebb and flow. So there's things going in all these different directions. So when we really feel one of these stages, what that means is that there's a part of us that has really needed that energy to be released, so that it can release its whole, and the whole of us can move forward. And it doesn't matter which stage that is. If you are in stage 10 in your family life, but you're in stage 2 in your social life, by moving through stage 2 and by liberating that energy of stage 2, your family life is then going to be able to be improved. Okay. So this is not a better than, or a good or a bad type of process. This is just an owning where you are and where do you need the support, in what dimension of your life needs that, the energy, needs the information of that particular stage or process. And just going to bring this up again, everything in existence is just energy and information doing the dance that it does. More energy equals a better ability to express and experience the information. All right. So thank you everyone for jumping on. Unless there was a comment or a question. Yes, Amory, this was very, very different from the last one. And each one of these stages becomes more and more different, because at this point we have more and more energy. So our ability to experience contrast is going to be much, much higher. Our ability to experience nuance is going to be much, much higher. So yes, this stage is way different, and the upcoming stages are going to be even more different than this.
Cool.
So thanks everyone, and thank you very much, Kathy. I love you too very, very much. I love everybody that's joined this. Again, as always, please, please, please share the links to these with anybody that you think would benefit from them. We've got all of these videos up on our Facebook page. I believe we've got a YouTube channel. That
we have a YouTube channel. They're all on there.
we have a YouTube channel, and they're all on there. So please, please, please share these, spread this information. Like I said, this is no longer just a me and a you. This is a we, and that we is very, very, very massive. So let's go ahead and share this information with as many people as we possibly can. And we will see you guys tomorrow.
Bye-bye.